Hey writers, as I promised you above, here's my video sharing my writing with you on what you're going to do today. So just like we've been doing, you're going to go to Google Docs to find your story. I'm going to open up Mrs. Strength's writing. I'm going to scroll down to my story. I have my red, yellow, and blue highlights in there from yesterday. And today I'm going to be adding in my thinking in orange. As you can see, I've done some of that here. And similes in green. So I highlighted my thinking in orange. Let me share a couple examples with you. When Amanda is upset that her pants aren't long enough, I wrote, "This isn't fair," thought Amanda, who was feeling like the tallest girl in the world. When I do "this isn't fair," thought Amanda, that was something that she said to herself in her head, but she didn't say out loud to somebody else. But that little line, just that small bit of thinking, really helped us to understand how she was feeling in that moment. So that's why I included it in quotation marks as something she was thinking. So even if she's not saying it, if it's running through her head like she's saying it to herself, we put quotation marks around it, and it's the character's thinking. So that's why that line is orange. If I go down, here's another part where she did some thinking. So she's gotten put into the volleyball game and she's at the front of the net. Maybe she's right, but I'm afraid my long legs will just get tangled and my long arms will miss the volleyball, Amanda thinks. So again, she's not saying this out loud to a classmate or to the coach, but this going through her head helps us to understand that she's not feeling very good about being put into the volleyball game, and she's worried about what others are going to think. So this is what's running through her head, what she's saying to herself. So I've highlighted it orange. I have a couple other examples. I have, maybe I will be able to hit the ball over, she thinks. So again, something that goes through her mind that helps us to understand maybe she's feeling a little more confident now. It helps us to see how she's changing and her thinking is getting better about the situation. And at the very end of the story, character thinking works really well at the end of stories if you're looking for a good spot to put yours, because you can share how the character has changed through the way that they think about a situation. So as she leaves the noise-filled gym, Amanda smiles with pride and whispers to herself, maybe being tall isn't always so bad. So that final little thinking or whisper to herself helps us to understand how differently she feels now at the end of the story. So I have quite a bit of thinking throughout my story. After highlighting it in orange, I'm not sure I need to add any thinking in. But I also went through my story like you're supposed to do today, and I looked for similes, where I was comparing something to something else. I do have who was feeling like the tallest girl in the world. That is kind of like a simile because I am comparing Amanda to the tallest girl in the world, but I'm not sure that that's the best simile I could have used there, and that maybe I could have used something like comparing her to a really tall animal. So I'm actually going to change my writing. I found a spot where I just want to make it a little bit more interesting. And instead of saying feeling like the tallest girl in the world, I'm going to say who was feeling like a giraffe, since I know giraffes are the tallest animal at the zoo. Who was feeling like a giraffe trying to hang out with zebras. So now I have that feeling of her being as tall as a giraffe, but hanging out with those who aren't as tall as her, like zebras. And that allows the reader just to understand just how much taller she really felt than everybody else, because giraffes and zebras are very different in how tall they are. So that's one place I was able to put in a simile. Let's look for another spot. Oh, I know. When she's trying to squeeze her legs into the bus seat and she can't fit. So Amanda plops down, moves her backpack to her lap, and tries to squeeze her knees into the bus seat. Her legs don't fit. I'm going to put something about how they feel like something squeezed in somewhere. Trying to compare her legs in the bus seat to something squeezed in. She felt as tight as sardines, as peas. I don't like that one either. Her legs don't fit. She felt like they were tighter than a seat belt. I don't like that one either. I don't know, guys. I'm having a hard time coming up with one there, but I could come up with, let's see, I'm going to keep thinking because that's what I would do as a good writer. I found a spot where I want to add one, but I have to take a minute to think. That's okay. Her legs don't fit. She felt like, sardines squeezed into a little can. Maybe not my best, but I've got something there at least to get me started. I might think on that some more. I might want to change it again. But I've got sardines in a can, lots of little sardines squeeze in to fit into a can while her legs are feeling like they're squeezed into the seat. That's another simile. You need to add just at least one simile to your work today if you don't already have one. I went ahead and put in 2 in mine, and you can do that as well. Good luck, writers, with your revisions today. And after you've done your your orange and your green, you're going to really see how your writing looks like a rainbow of details now. And then I want you to turn in a screenshot of that work where you added in your simile today. So I'm going to take a picture of this part of my writing where I have my green similes, to turn in as my assignment. You'll want to do the same. Good luck.